Hey, how's it going guys? Nate here, with our Fallout 4 Nuka World DLC review, doing our best to determine whether or not this DLC gives Fallout the worthy and steadfast send-off that it so deserves. We're going to be doing our best to avoid spoilers and discover whether or not this DLC is worth the $20 it's priced at. So, without further ado, let's do further! Now before we start, as I found out, Nuka World is a DLC that depends on you being willing to sacrifice some moral ground to enjoy the full experience. And as we've heard before, there is still a way to play Nuka World as a bit of the good guy, but it's not exactly the most entertaining. This DLC is one of the only few opportunities you get to truly be the obvious, undisputed bad guy in Fallout 4, and I really appreciated that. The sense of freedom Nuka World offers you by letting you get to attack settlements, or fight against the Minutemen, or even at points get to kill NPCs in order to circumnavigate dialogue and quests, all felt very liberating in a Fallout title that was largely absent of many of those features. Furthermore, most perks make a pretty big difference in Nuka World. Lockpicking, charisma, robotics, and a whole lot more had quite a few opportunities to someone who employs them properly, and definitely a lot more than in the vanilla game. I might even argue that they're a bit too abundant, as almost every single dialogue tree you go through, you'll get the option to use your charisma. Every quest you get through, you'll get the option to lockpick some door. It became increasingly evident, but I still enjoyed that. And while the park's size certainly isn't as large as Far Harbor's map was, it's a lot denser in terms of content. A bunch of new side quests, unique environmental storytelling, and just in general overall abundance of things to do, all staples of any Bethesda product, are still present in Nuka World despite its size. However, this DLC is not without a few flaws of its own. The Nuka-cade, for instance, is a lot less than what my initial hopes led me to believe. There's a few somewhat enjoyable minigames here and there, but the prize system was dramatically underwhelming. There's also a fundamental lack of weapons compared to Far Harbor that upset me as well. Of course, the new companion Nuka World offers, Gage, is actually pretty cool, and compared to Old Longfellow, or even many of the vanilla Fallout 4 companions, he's got a surprisingly rich personality and backstory that I really enjoyed. Performance-wise, Nuka World is pretty much exactly what you'd expect out of anything Fallout 4. Unfortunately, as we've grown to know, that's not particularly a good thing. So far, I've spent a good 14-ish hours on the Xbox One, and maybe 2 to 3 on my PC, and frame rate drops, render pop-ins were all over the game on both platforms. This was made most evident in areas like Kitty Kingdom and the Galactic Zone, when you've got a bunch of enemies trying to rush you while the game desperately attempts to render in these massive areas they inhabit. It's quite evident that the game wasn't perfectly optimized, which is fine, it is expected, but it still is a little bit disappointing. Also, this DLC does give you the opportunity to attack your own settlements within the Commonwealth and storm them with a handful or two of raiders, which is a welcome opportunity, working directly in contrast with the interests of the Minutemen so often. Whenever you capture a settlement, you're able to build a raider flag there and solicit caps from it, which in turn makes that settlement under the de facto control of whichever raider faction was being represented, possibly also laying the groundwork for some pretty cool mods in the future that perhaps could allow us to side with, say, the Gunners or the Brotherhood to capture settlements from each other. I don't know, just an idea. This DLC does also give you a new settlement and some building items, but nothing particularly noteworthy or game-changing there. If I had to summarize my opinions about Nuka World into a single sentence, I would probably say met my expectations, which were actually rather high. I definitely enjoyed Nuka World more than I enjoyed Far Harbor, making it my favorite Fallout 4 DLC, and perhaps that's a result of the sentiment of choice, getting to be the bad guy, that I gravitated so much towards, but I really did appreciate what Nuka World did, and I enjoyed it as a DLC altogether. And while there were things here that disappointed me, there was also plenty of pleasant surprises that more than made up for it. I pulled all together a good about 17 hours on this DLC, and I can tell I'm done with most of it. However, there's still Radiant quests and some Easter eggs to keep me occupied, so you're probably at least gonna get 20 hours out of this DLC. So should you buy Nuka World? Well, if you're a big fan of Fallout 4, then yeah, probably. Especially if you felt like you wanted more choices and opportunities to be the bad guy, this DLC would be tailor-made for you. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't hop on Fallout that much, or you're not really a big fan of the game altogether, you probably won't miss out too much by avoiding this DLC's purchase. It is $20, which is rather hefty. But in my own opinion, I really enjoyed Nuka World as a whole. I felt that it was the best Fallout 4 DLC yet, and in that regard, I really do recommend it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to hit that like button, dislike if you disliked, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Peace out, everybody.